we ready to do this? No, we're not, I guess. Okay, bye.
Short one.
Short 26-second episode.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Hi.
Hi.
What's going down this week?
I've not hated the weather this week.
It's been like a nice, calm 75.
And before that, it was raining like
Yes.
thunderstorms every day.
I like the gloom some days.
I do too. Which is why I was surprised. Well, I guess not really surprising. I asked the scribe. What did I ask him? I said something offensive to this country. Yes. How I was embarrassed by this, like, to be a part of this country. And he was like, I quite like it here. And I was like, what? I was like, what? Like, really? And he said yes. And I was honestly shocked.
Well, because over there, they pretty much have gloom 100% of the time almost.
So about it.
You're about it?
Yeah.
We need sunshine in our lives every so
sunshine. Sorry.
often. In my pocket.
I was going to say on a cloudy day.
No! Yeah, but it's going to be like balls hot today. 95.
Tomorrow, too. And I have a wedding. That's outdoors.
Outside. There's nothing worse than having a swelter outside.
Well, it's at 5.
Oh, that's not too bad, though.
I'm hoping. It's my brother's wedding. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you and
He's the only one
Farewell.
doing it right.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, like, right.
Oh, getting married.
Like, going to school and then getting married and then babies. He already has a home. Bastard.
How the fuck?
Don't even ask me. I'm totally fucking mad. 4-bedroom home,
I'm building
finished
a time-
basement.
What does he do for a job?
Sells cars. He's a salesman!
He's a sneaky snake. That's what he is.
Well, apparently, according to Shane, Jen's boyfriend Shane,
Shout out.
yo, there's no such thing as a sleazy salesman anymore. I tried to salesman.
It's because people are so distrusting that you have to change tactics.
I think that, well, my thought was everyone's credit score is so shitty that it doesn't matter at this point. They're going to get a commission either way is the whole point.
Gotcha.
You know.
I still go to the dealer to, like, get my oil change and stuff. I don't know why. Honestly, it's a convenience of waiting there, like making an appointment online, waiting there, and then just driving off. And I don't have to think about, oh, I'll take your car today, I'll drop it off tonight, I'll do this and that.
I also go to my dealership, and it's listen, I know that they're ripping me off.
Oh,
100%.
I can't help but think that they are.
But
Draining me.
yes, because my oil change costs $60.
Well, that's usual.
No, you can go to like Midas and get it done for $30, I think.
I know, but I feel better knowing that they actually know Mazdas, or like they know
My
car.
thing is that they do all the checkpoints. They don't just do the oil change. They do the works.
Yeah.
And if anything's wrong, they replace it. They don't just try to fix. I have a hole in my shirt.
Oh my god.
They don't just. I shaved my armpit and now it's growing back and it's so itchy.
TMI.
Sorry.
Alright, can I just say that though? I know we're jumping from topic to topic.
Sorry.
Because girls shave more, obviously. And I cannot tell you how awful it is to shave, and I have to think about, should I shave today or tomorrow, because I don't want to be itchy in front of my boyfriend. Like,
yeah. Well, sweetheart, you might as well just get it over with.
oh my god. And when you shave down in the girl region, and you get the peony bumps, and it's like itchy as fuck.
I'm like down to just never shave again. That's
So,
where I'm at in life.
When y'all don't like the bush factor,
me.
suck it, because it sucks to shave that shit.
Yeah.
All the time.
And no one's asking them to groom. Well, if they are, then those girls are really high maintenance bitches.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I don't either.
It's just a part of the Bodhi. Like,
Yeah. Just own it.
own it. Own that
it.
pubes,
Yeah.
man. Come on. Yeah, I'm all set.
Just like that, we're like, no.
Typical bitches.
Who are saying that? We're like, we don't care. And then you pull your pants on and you're like, oh. monstrous.
Keep it, like, to uniform.
I think a nice trim
Yeah.
is good enough.
But if it's, like, a mile high...
Like, if it's just unkept.
Yeah. If it's in a little area, keep it. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if it's all, like, jungle, man...
And I'm not asking for, like, bikini waxes. Just keep it...
And ladies who do that.
Ow. Although I hear that getting your butthole waxed doesn't hurt.
It sucks that we even have hair in there, but...
I know, isn't it terrible?
Who's looking at our buttholes, though?
They are.
Yeah, I know, but if
They hit it from the back. It's like they zero in on it. Like, all of a sudden, they have night vision, and it's like booty hole, booty hole, booty hole, booty hole, booty hole.
If you have the lights dimmed, there's enough shadow there where you could get away with it.
Casting a nice glimmer.
Whoa. I want my booty hole to glimmer. Booty hole
Just don't put that.
Ooh, we're a hot mess already, guys.
Can we, like, get through any fucking episode not talking about dicks, tits, pussy, or asshole, like, ever?
Because we're human.
As she licks her fingers.
Sorry. Look, coffee's very important.
Sorry.
You save every drop.
Oh, this is terrible. What are we turning into?
Animals. Animals!
Animals. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
You know that line, right?
What?
That line.
What line?
Oh my.
The disgusting?
No, the animals.
Maybe.
You want to take a guess?
No. That's very generic.
No, it's actually not. It's very specific. Hercules, the little goat, says it. When the fucking horse thing licks its face, and he's like, animals.
Oh, yeah! What the... what was his name?
Phil.
Phil.
Yeah.
And it was played by Danny DeVito, which I think
Yes.
is just...
Do you think Danny DeVito found it offensive? It's like this. I got a fur wedgie.
No, but...
It all comes back around. To the hairy butthole. Oh my god.
Poor fawns.
We did not. Ooh.
Mr. Tumnus had to explain to do.
Mm.
Oh. I'm all set then.
Okay. We're moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah. Couple things.
Yeah, I feel like we watched a lot this week, but
Watched nothing.
Yeah, but really we didn't watch anything. And half the stuff we watched was shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
Let's start off with, I found, you know those wonderful sponsor posts on Insta? And there was one from IFC Midnight about a movie called Relic.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, Emily Mortimer's in it. Very English, you know. And I was like, this looks so good. Sent it to her. I'm like, I'm fucking renting this thing.
$6.99 that I'll never get back.
$6.99 on Amazon Prime, which is bull. I know because it's new. It came out this year. So it's called Relic. It's your basic tale. Old lady lives by herself.
Creepy.
Creepy.
Already. It's like in this dark gray wash theme going around. It's very gloomy.
So Emily Mortimer and her grown daughter, who's maybe like 20s.
And calls her mom by her name.
Yeah, which
They
I
ever
can't even remember.
Explain that?
No.
Her name was Kay.
Kay. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Anna, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Kay is like, or a neighbor calls and they're like, we haven't seen your mom
Hold
in
on.
3 days.
It takes place in... Is it New Zealand?
Oh, it's Australia.
Australia?
My
That was
bad.
close.
Because, she was saying,
Which I liked.
I did. It was different.
Yes.
And I think Screen Australia made the movie, so, I mean, it made sense.
I'm sorry.
It didn't look like Australia, though. To what we know.
It looked like Seattle.
Yeah.
Like really woodsy area of Seattle.
Anywho.
Kay gets a call.
Kay gets a call. Mom's missing. So her and her daughter, Anna, they go up. And they're like, where the fuck's Mom? Messy. There's little post-its everywhere, like reminders.
Which was the very first sign of...
dementia, right?
Yeah.
So they settle in. They're kind of looking at the house. It's, you know, Kay's old childhood home.
Mm-hmm. She's having flashbacks.
Having lots of flashbacks.
Did they ever explain those? I should...
No. Oh, you mean the dreams?
Yeah.
No.
I should clarify that I didn't... I don't think I got...
You didn't finish it.
I don't even think I got 30 minutes out of that.
And at the end, it was so, like... So it was very expected. Like, Grandma goes missing. She's got dementia, but there's this other, like... Is there a supernatural entity involved? Is the house haunted type deal? So that's what kept me, because I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And I still don't know if I liked it.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I am gonna finish.
Okay.
So she has dementia, right? She does come back, and they're like, Mom, where the fuck have you been? And she's like, what?
Dirty and gross.
Yeah. I've been out walking, you know?
I just went out for a bit.
So, again, signs of dementia. But then there's, like, these weird...
Lucid moments?
Yeah. But not only that, she's like, things move in the house.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, okay, it's haunted, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but this is where it starts to get weird, is Anna, the daughter, granddaughter, whatever, there's a closet with a lock on the outside. So she goes in, and she's like, oh, she locked the boy next door with Down syndrome in here when they were playing hide and seek.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go see what's in there.
Mm-hmm.
She said it was coming in this way.
Yeah.
So she finds there's a bunch of junk piled up in the back, and actually behind it is more house. There's like a hallway, there's doors. So she goes down there with her little cell phone flashlight. But it's one of those situations where she goes down a corridor, and you think she just took a right. So she turns around to go back. Dead end. So it's like...
Ugh, I want to blurt this out. Go ahead.
No,
finish.
And like dead ends, and then they get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then she gets claustrophobic and scared and tries to turn around, but nothing is happening, and there's mold in all the walls, like black mold, and that's important to the story.
That's the most terrifying part of this whole movie.
Yeah, it's like a lot of black dots everywhere.
Yeah.
And then she punches through a wall, and she gets through, right? What were you gonna say?
The house is a character in this movie.
Yeah.
The house is a metaphor for grandma.
Pretty much, I would say.
The house itself, it's packed with a bunch of shit. It's falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the house is supposed to mirror her dementia. Like, it's just shambles, and everything's messy, and everything's everywhere, and no matter where you look, there's shit falling apart.
But this is where it gets weird. Because Anna and Kay, mother-daughter, find each other in the in the weird hallways that don't end,
Mm-hmm.
in the parts of the house that they don't know, and they try to. She finds a hole that gets into the actual real part of the house, but Grandma's in the halls with them, and she's fucked up. She's like a crawling thing. She's like naked. You know that weird thing? You don't like the twitchy things that.
Yeah,
crawl?
I hate that shit.
So she's kind of chasing after them, and they burst through into the house. Grandma too. But then they knock her out cold. And they go to run and leave. Kay's like, I can't leave my mom. So she goes back inside and puts her on the bed. And she's Grandma. And she's just sitting there. And she notices that her mom had, like, been tearing at her skin. That's why she looks like a creature. So what does she do? She finishes tearing the skin off. And she pulls her mother's skin all the way off to reveal a black skeleton beneath. And she literally just takes off all of her mom's skin, places her down in the bed, and kind of like big spoons her. And then the granddaughter comes in and spoons her mom. So it's like black skeleton, mother, daughter. And then the daughter looks at her mom's back of her neck and sees a black spot. End.
Dementia's hereditary. That's all it is.
I was like, what? But what?
It's dementia.
No, I know, but it had to do, remember the cabin? There was also a cabin. She had dreams of a cabin.
Yeah, because that grandpa, it was her grandfather, who probably also suffered from dementia and was neglected.
Destroyed the cabin, but put pieces of the cabin and the stained glass window in the house.
Oh, yes. Well, they do also say that the windows are the eyes of the, what is this?
Soul.
Yeah. That shit.
Yo.
I know! I only watched 30 minutes and I already wrapped it up in my head.
It was like a big-ass metaphor for, like, multi-generational...
The fucking second she was like, oh, you guys kept the windows. And I was like, eyes to the soul.
Yeah.
And every time her mom was freaking out, she was near a window.
And so it ended and I was like, did I like that? And I still don't know. And I'm still messed up about it.
Would you watch it again to try to figure it out?
I think so.
I wouldn't pay $6.99.
No, I wouldn't.
I didn't, because they kept trying to make it supernatural, and clearly it wasn't. It just wasn't.
I know, but how do you explain a black skeleton? Skeleton.
I know you said that's a
skeleton.
It's death from within. That's what happens. Your body is organic matter. You rot and you decay.
She was alive.
I understand that.
Decay.
But think about an 80-year-old woman.
Yeah, I got you.
Like, my old patients, literally waiting to die.
Yeah, no, I got you.
That's all it is.
You're talking to me. I know. I live with that shit.
Okay. I had a 93-year-old woman that was a full code today. Don't know why. She's got at best another 3 years in her.
Ain't that the shit?
Just leave her be, man.
So if you see that hanging around on Amazon Prime, maybe skip it.
If you're into metaphors.
I guess. But so that was like one thing on our shit list. And then she had found something else that she wanted to start. But it was on the shit list too.
It is brand fucking new on Netflix, Cursed, with Catherine Langford. And I thought from the trailer that I was going to love this. Now, I only watched the first 15 minutes of episode 1 because it is a series. I don't like it.
I watched the first 3 minutes with her just now.
It gave it a really King Arthur vibe. And then it totally went fantasy with the fairies. And I was like, no. It's like I told you, that color blue didn't exist back then. And it's so bright and so clean. You live in the woods.
It's very Snow White, like Disney princess-ish.
Nothing is that clean when you live in the woods.
No?
I don't give a shit how much of a celestial being... Well, actually, that's not true. But she's not a celestial being. So it's like this typical, like, oh, she's being made fun of and being bullied by everybody. Me, because she's an outsider. So they have, like, this ritual thing where they do offerings, and this fucking thing is supposed to choose the next... I don't even know what the fuck it was. So obviously it was going to end up being Catherine Langford, which it was. And then she's like, no, I don't want this, and ran away. And I was like, well, I'm done with this petty shit. I'm not watching Hannah Baker go through this shit again.
No, I'm all set. Let's just say it looked too cheesy for me. It was not my cup of tea.
There's like sword fighting and shit, but I feel like that's not going to come until later. And you know what? I don't want to wait.
Yeah.
The Witcher had me by the balls. 2 seconds in.
If you want to do fantasy right,
The Witcher.
Witcher.
Oh my god.
With witches and whatever.
And all types of creatures,
yeah.
But then it's like you are actually dirty and you smell like onions.
It's realistic.
Yeah.
Love that.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's just like...
It was like the PG watered down version of Witcher.
The second she's like in the woods picking flowers, I was like, no.
Fucking Snow White up in here.
No. The CGI is like super exaggerated. Everything's super vibrant and really like in your face. And then she just gets mad because they killed a little baby deer.
Gloomy.
Yeah. If we're gonna...
Shit.
Yeah. See, if you had taken that same storyline and made it like 10 notches darker, I would have totally been into that shit.
Yeah.
I would have been.
It was too kiddie for me. Like,
it reminded me of like if you took True Blood and just put more color in it and then like made it PG-13.
Yeah.
Minus the vampires, just the fairies.
Yeah.
What am I saying?
I got you. They have fairies.
It's like if Tinkerbell came to life. I don't even know if that's right.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
And the fairy, you didn't even see the fairy. You didn't see the fairy.
I didn't.
Because the fairy, from what I could see, had almost like the body of a bird, but like bat wings.
The fuck? Are you sure it was a fairy?
So what the fuck I'm talking about?
That's no.
And it was like dying because it was attacked. I was like, I'm not even buying your pain.
I'm all set.
I couldn't.
All right, so
she gets mad. All these veiny things happen. I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
You're good. So that's a pass from us for both of those.
I feel like we started on a bad note.
Well, yeah, because we have really good shit to go on.
That's true.
I watched something on Shudder that was different. I watched a show all in one sitting. Finished it before midnight last night.
How many episodes?
TV show. It was only 7, so it was an hour long each.
So like 7 hours.
Yeah. She watched 2 movies.
Yeah.
So we have good things to talk about. We just wanted to get the shit list. Don't watch those. If those aren't your cup of tea, don't do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to watch Curse a little. I'm gonna try to at least finish the first episode just to see if anything changes my mind. I doubt it, but
It doesn't look like it.
no.
So, what do you want to talk about first?
Well, give me one of yours.
Okay, yo.
Not the most exciting one. No, leave that for.
Okay, fine. I'll talk about Knife and Heart. It's on Shudder. It is en français.
You have a thing for foreign.
I do, and the exciting thing I'm talking about later is a foreign thing too. Because it doesn't matter what language they're speaking. Okay, it's still good content.
But I did finish Warrior Nun, and that was partially in
yeah.
English and partially in Espanol.
Yeah. And you, yay?
Yeah, but fuck Vincent, bro.
Yeah, I know.
Fuck you, man. Oh, I was like, the second he was like, wait, I'll go talk to him. I was like,
Can we talk about how that angel looked like Hugh Jackman a little bit? No?
Did he? First of all, not an angel.
Whatever.
I was
No spoilers.
Girl, it's been weeks.
Alright, shut up. Won't let me talk about my
Sorry, yeah. I don't know why we even... Go ahead. Knife and Heart.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I took French, okay? It's called... Oh, fuck, I forget the word for knife, but it's la knife dans la cour, which is knife in the heart, not knife and heart.
Oh, so it was mistranslated?
I guess, or they just wanted it to be something different. Anyway, it's called Knife and Heart, and it looks like... It definitely takes place in 1979, so it's very period accurate in terms of clothing.
Okay.
Well, again, this is France, but you know how 70s has that certain grainy look to it?
Yeah.
Like the movies from the back then, it had that, so that was beautiful.
Okay.
The storyline is we have our main character, Anna, and she is a director of gay pornographic films, so a lot of boy-on-boy action. So it's actually on like Shudder's queer horror list. So it's very much within that cultural group.
What drew you to this?
I was on Shudder and I wanted to watch something, and I was like, I want to watch something different. So I watched a few different trailers, and this one like was the most interesting.
Okay.
So that's the only reason. And it did win, or it was one of the selected films for the Cannes Film Festival. So that's what also drew me in. I was like, well, it must be good then. And it was. The story was so sad, though. You can't even call it horror, really.
No?
Basically, the storyline, like, she's a director of gay pornographic films, and she usually works within the same group of, like,
With
men.
the same people.
Yeah. And it's one girl that she fell in love with that is the editor of those films, and they're, like, actual editing, like, the film strips, cutting them, pulling them together, like, old school. And, unfortunately, the actors in their films start dying. There's this man who was wearing, like, a black all-over mask that would show up, and he was going to, like, have sex with one of her main actors, but this is where it's too on the nose, but he pulls out a dildo, which has a knife in it, and unfortunately kills him by stabbing him in the rectum. So that's death number 1. And
so he bled out?
Yes.
Okay.
So he dies, and 3 more actors die within their circle. So they're trying to find out who the fuck this killer is, trying to, like, kill them.
Clearly
but all the time,
homophobe.
she's a hot mess. She's, like, a drunk. She fell in love with, the chick who's the editor. I forget what her name is. But it's very much about, like, that lifestyle. It is about love and how shitty it is. But you come to find out she's watching one of her old films in the theater, and she, like, kind of realizes this a little bit, that the killer, back in the day, had a lover. And the 2 of them were in a barn, and one of their fathers caught them together. Burned the barn down. Lover died. But this guy, Guy, the other guy, was burned but escaped. So it was Guy who was the man, like, killing everybody. And the reason that he was killing those actors was she had made a movie about two male lovers being killed because one of their fathers saw them and burned the barn down. So all the 4 actors that were in that movie was who he was killing.
Oh.
So it was almost like he was ashamed for, like, his love of this other boy that he really loved.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all about, like, how you can't be yourself.
Well, not in the 70s, no, yeah.
And I was like, this is a horror movie? So it was more sad than anything. It wasn't really horror, but I liked it. They did it well. Okay. And because it was 70s, it was like, it had a good vibe to it. It felt very real.
So how many wickeds?
I would give it 3 wickeds. If you're looking into something different, you have to do it with French, but, you know, what else is new?
I guess.
It was good, though. I enjoyed it. I get it. But it was about, you know, dangers of love and how shitty it is when you can't be
I'm
yourself.
still trying to picture their knife in the dildo.
It literally just looks like a black dildo and then a knife.
Oh.
But it, like, it pops out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
Yeah.
wait, like, is it just there? Like, it can't be just there. They would see that. No, actually, they wouldn't because...
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
No, it pops out.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, and another way that this other poor guy dies is he's giving him... the dude who's gonna die was giving the murderer head on the fake cock. And then,
What's wrong with his real cock?
I don't know. Well, it was burned off, probably.
That's not funny.
No. No, but then, because he's giving him head, he clicks the thing and it goes right through his head. And I was like, ooh.
How was that?
What do you mean?
The gore aspect of it. Oh.
It wasn't as good as it could have been.
Who directed it?
They're fucking French. I have no idea who they are.
Oh, I didn't know if it was a man or a woman.
Oh, that's a good point. I think it was a woman. But anyway, it was good stuff.
There you go.
If
On
that's
Shudder.
but it wasn't like gore fest.
More sad
It was
than
like
anything.
if you want a sad fucking love story.
Well, what was that? The one where the girl was raped and the dude. What was that? It reminded me of Leon the Professional.
Oh, I love Leon.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody was raped in that though.
No, no. You saw the movie on Shudder. I watched it too.
Oh.
What the fuck was it? Bluebird?
Oh, yeah, Bluebird in My Heart.
Yeah, so that was on Shudder.
Yep.
And that wasn't horror either.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was more thriller.
Yeah, not even. I think Shudder just houses more of like the darker side of movies.
Yeah,
not
like the darker stories.
Not horror specific.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you want something different, it's good.
Cool beans. I watched
Terrorist films.
you know. Well, oh god.
I mean, look.
I know. So on Prime, 7,500.
Sorry.
Excuse her.
Excuse my chair.
Yeah, okay. So this is actually a code.
7,500.
Yes. So this movie stars, and the only person I know in this movie is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it is a movie from, I think it was 2019.
It's at the top. At the top. Keep going. Keep going.
There's no more going.
What the fuck?
This is all of it.
It's an Amazon original.
It is. So it says, so Joseph Gordon-Levitt and his girlfriend he's a pilot and she's a stewardess. And where are they? Berlin. So they're in Berlin and he's to pilot this plane to Paris. Mm-hmm. Okay. So it starts off, they take off, which I can't imagine that this isn't accurate. Because it goes through, like, it's almost like 25 minutes to half an hour of them from, like, when they sit down, they chit-chat, like, oh, hi, how are you? How long you been doing this? Like, they don't know each other, the pilot and the captain.
Okay.
And so they chit-chat a second, and then they go through all the steps of checking everything, and buttons and lights and fucking putting... it looked really accurate. Like they were just so comfortable just with everything.
Yeah.
They must have like rehearsed this scene a million fucking times.
Oh, I'm sure.
So it looked very accurate. So not long after takeoff. Go ahead.
No.
Okay. So not long after takeoff, before they took off, the stewardess, you know, they seated everyone and they were like, oh, do you want to put in your dinner orders? Whatever. So they put in their dinner orders, and when she comes back after they've taken off and they're still ascending, but it's safe to take off your seatbelts, the stewardess goes to open the door to give the pilot his dinner. And at that moment, a hijacker in first class, the very front seat, kind of pulls the stewardess away and is able to break into the cabin. Oof. And those doors are like
you can't get
high
in there.
No, there's no getting in. So he gets in, they're able to shut the door, stabs the shit out of the captain, and then
does he die?
Hold on. Joe Levitt is able to knock him out. Now, I didn't know this, but an emergency code for a plane hijacking is a 7500. Hence the name of the movie. And I thought, like, this shit's gonna be mad short, because he knocks out the hijacker, he reports back to wherever, and sure. He's like, there's a 7500 in progress, like, we need to turn around back to Berlin. And they said that there wasn't enough fuel to go back to Berlin, but there was a 30-minute ride to, I forget where. Somewhere with an M. And in this 30 minutes, I was like, how is this movie an hour and a half long? Is the whole, my thought process. So, the 35 whatever minutes it was, I think who cares a shit. The captain dies. The hijacker is knocked out again. He was hurt, like, in the arm, so he didn't have use of his arm, mostly. He's able to tape up the hijacker's hands and, like, buckle him to whatever. And there are still more hijackers on the other side of the door, banging the shit out of the door. I was just gonna
say, is he alone?
No, there's, like, 3 or 4 other dudes. And the guy that's at the door is, like, so persistent. And now, this movie is only in English because of Joseph, but the rest of it is in multiple languages.
Okay.
So, they're banging on the door with everything they could find. It's not working. So, what do? They start taking hostages.
Yeah.
If you don't open this fucking door in 10 seconds, we're going to kill this man. And he's, like, talking to air control, like, what the fuck do I do? And they're like, under no circumstances are you to open that door. So, they kill the first hostage. You want to guess who the second hostage is?
Stewardess.
The girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Baby mama. 2-year-old boy.
Ah!
And he is like, no, please. And he calls out to the cabin or to the people. They're like, there's only 2 of these guys. Like, you guys have to work together, and trying to talk them into, like, helping. And there was nobody coming. And you can see, like, so the hijackers closed the curtain. So you can't see past that little area where you come in and, like, where the other people are. So he takes the plane and he tells everybody to, like, buckle up. And he tries to, like, turn it and try to, like, get him to let go of her, and it just didn't work. It didn't work.
That's sad.
So, yeah. So, the other dude that was at the door who spoke English to the hijackers, he was also a hijacker. I forget what happened that he was able to actually... Oh, because the other hijacker in the cabin woke up, unbeknownst to Joe, attacked, knocked him out, let the other dude in, and... You really thought, like, he was gonna fucking... And his whole... Because you always wonder, like, what the fuck, right? Why?
Yeah.
He's like... So in their language, he was like, you know, Westerners have killed our people for no reason, and this time they're gonna learn, and of course everything is to Allah, and they just take the Quran and they completely flip it to something that it's not, and it was their beliefs, and it was to teach them a lesson, and the other... hijacker who was able to get in, who was translating, is a young kid. He's like 19 years old. And he was very much like, all of a sudden, they're about to fucking die. And he's like, no, I don't want this. I don't want to do this. So, with his help, they're able to kill the hijacker that was about to take the plane down. Joe gets control of the plane again. He's able to land it. And then it's like, police are in, and they're trying to communicate with the hijacker, and... It was just a mess.
That sounds like a mess.
It was. and I loved it.
I was gonna say, but it was good though, right?
It reminded me of oh shit. There was this Adrian Brody did a movie where he woke up and his car, he was like in a car accident and he was stuck in the car. And he woke up in the middle of like him just being, and the whole movie is just him stuck in the fucking car.
Yeah. It's so familiar.
It's so stupid, the thought of it. And he like has no memory as to like what happened, but like as the movie progresses, he's in and out of consciousness, he starts to remember, and I fucking love that too.
What is that?
Nothing fucking happened. But it was amazing.
Can we? Reminds me of Air Force One. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Yo. Came out in the 90s with Harrison Ford as the president. But it's the same thing where their Air Force One plane gets hijacked.
Yeah.
By none other than Gary Oldman. Fucking love him.
An American?
And they're Russians. And it's because he wants like his comrades to be taken out of prison or whatever. But it's so high intent. You know who's in it? Frank Gallagher. William H. Macy.
Oh!
Yes. There's a lot of good people in it, though.
That's a good one.
There's a ton of other people, but...
So it's a negotiation.
Yeah, but it's kind of similar where it's hijacked and they have to... The president used to be, like, a pilot in the war and has to, helps to save It's just one of those high-intensity movies.
I love it. I think that's what 7500 was. It's just like he had control of the plane even after the terrorists got in, and then they started using people, so of course they ended up pulling up his girlfriend, and he was like, fuck this, I'm gonna do this, and it's just like, I can't fucking imagine. And I've been on a plane many a times, and I always play that fucking scenario in my head.
Oh, I know. But if you like that shit, 7500 sounds good. I might watch that on Amazon. It's an original.
It's on Prime, yeah.
And Air Force One, I've seen it a cajillion times, but it's one of those where the thrilling aspect of it is so stressful that it still gets me every time. This one, it wasn't that high, but the whole time you're like, oh shit, like what's he gonna do? Oh my god, what's he gonna do? Yeah.
Like, also, I have to say that the wound that Joe Levitt had, it looked like a pussy-ass wound. Like, I don't understand why all of a sudden a little stab wound here, you had no function of your arm. I just think that adrenaline would kick in, and, like, that would come later. Like, in the moment that you decided, I don't know. It's just...
Yeah.
Like, the weapon that they stabbed him with, they smuggled in glass. It was a shard of glass, and it was taped.
A good old prison shank.
And that's what they had. I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy.
So, but you also watched another terrorist movie.
I did, but this one was a lot closer to home.
Literally.
I've never seen this movie before. I love Mark Wahlberg. I love Kevin Bacon. I think
John Goodman's in it, right?
cast. Oh my god, yes, this cast was amazing. Oh god, in Sons of Anarchy, the very first black member of Sons, who was the prez for the Grim Reapers, I don't know if you ever got that far.
I think so.
He was playing Governor Patrick Duvall. I'm talking about
Duvall.
What did I say?
You said Patrick Duvall.
That's not what I meant.
Marty Walsh?
No.
Or Governor Baker?
No, it was Duvall. Remember
back in the day.
Yes, because we're talking about Patriots Day. For those of you who have not been with the times, back in 2013.
There's an actor with the name Patrick Duvall. That's why I was confused.
Oh no, but that was our.
I know, I forgot.
Okay, so back in April of 2013, I believe, because it was a few years after 9/11. No, not a few years. What am I saying? Was it 2013? It was. So back
I was gonna say it was the year I graduated.
During the Boston Marathon, two brothers completely set bombs off. They were like pressure cooker homemade bombs near the finish line of the Boston Marathon.
And if you don't know this story, come on.
You're probably not from here, or you just don't watch the news. That's really all there is.
Majority of our listeners are from Mass, so
that's true.
They know.
So, but it's basically that's what the movie was. It surrounded the events of that day. Now, I went because I was like, how accurate is this?
Yeah.
super accurate.
Oh, I'm sure. Because Marky said that he wanted to make this movie before anybody else did.
Well, director Peter Berg triple checked his facts. He interviewed witnesses, victims, survivors, the police, everybody. He interviewed everyone. And the article that I read said that there was only one thing that was off, but I'll get to that in a second. So Mark Wahlberg is basically, he's not based on any one particular, because Javi was like, okay, but who is he in this movie? He's not based on any one particular officer. He's a culmination of multiple officers from that day.
He's an amalgam.
Yes. So, J.K. Simmons is in this.
I know, I love J.K. Simmons.
Like, the cast is amazing, and, the accents were not, like, butchered.
They were done Bacon's well. Done it before. He was in Mystic River in the 90s. Back
Is it weird that I find that man super hot?
Yes.
What the?
Have you ever seen Tremors with the long hair?
Yes. That's when it started. My nipples went.
Don't talk to me. Okay, she likes Kevin Bacon.
I do.
But he's good at the
I also loved him in that show that he did. It was, like, based on Edgar Allan Poe's poetry. It was on, I think, FX.
The Raven?
No. Was that a show?
It was a movie with...
No, this was a show.
Oh! The Following.
Yes. Excellent.
I watched that when it was on.
Watch it Just watch it. It's great. So, Patriots Day follows the events. You know what I thought was so fucking interesting? And I wondered about this because they told a story from both sides. From the police and what happened that day. But even, like, before the bombing happened, it followed the brothers. The wife.
I don't know if we know their story a lot.
I know we don't know it from the older brother because motherfucker did.
Yeah.
But I do remember that year, not months after, the younger brother, I refuse to say his name because he's a piece of shit, and second, I can't say his name for shit. So, but that's okay, I can live with that. Rolling Stones did, do you remember that shit? How controversial that was? How Rolling Stones did an entire interview for this man, and they put
Rolling Stone. The magazine?
Sorry, yes. And they oh, fuck off. And they put his picture up on the front cover.
I remember that.
I don't know if that was the first time ever that he's a fucking terrorist and they put his I remember how much but you know what? I can't imagine the sales.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know like how accurate that was. Apparently like after the bombings, the fucker actually did go to the drugstore and got milk. Like, it was nothing. I know that, based on interviews for the wife, who was a white woman converted to Muslim. Was it Islam? What is it?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I hate that I'm so ignorant. So, but anyways, like, her interviews, her lawyer says that they were inaccurate, but according to everyone else, it was pretty fucking accurate.
Of course he has to say that.
Of course. It was a woman, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. And she's out there. Custody of her child. She's still out there. She's free. Whatever. The motherfucker that's alive is serving. He's in jail on death row. The older brother is dead because I think he got shot. And then his younger brother ran him over. I don't know if it was on accident or on purpose, but I remember watching it and I was so emotional the whole fucking time.
Can you show me who played the older brother? Because I know the kid that played the younger one whose face we all know.
Oh my god.
He was in Jumanji, the newer ones.
So,
and I was like, he looks so much like him.
These boys looked exactly like the actual...
Yeah, that kid. Alex Wolff.
Yes. He looked exactly like the younger brother.
Yeah.
Down to the fucking mole. And then this guy played the older brother who looked exactly like...
Wow, casting is on point for that.
Yes. And it's insane because you look at their actor photos and you're like, oh, it doesn't really look... But then you watch the movie and you're like...
Oh my god, yeah.
It was insane. So, it basically takes you over... Before... the bombing, way before, maybe like the night before, the day before the bombing, all the way up to the capture of the younger brother. And
that was intense.
It was, Mark had this one scene where, like, because I guess there was an officer who, like, the second it went down, he was like, okay, he just took leadership. We're going to clear this so the ambulance can get through. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. And Mark took that role on. So by the time that all was said and done, he goes home. And I got so mad because I can't believe this shit happened. He gets home and his whole family's there with his wife. And immediately, what happened? Who was it? What's going on? Like, a huge fucking bombing. Like, bodies were in pieces. And you're going to sit here and fucking come at me with who was it? Who done it? What's going on? I got
give me a fucking hug. Yeah.
I got so, yeah, nobody asked if he was okay. Other than the wife.
Shit.
Everyone else just cared, about the event. So he kicks everybody out, and he's still in his uniform. He's sitting on the couch, and he just loses it.
Oh.
He gets so emotional, and he starts talking about one thing and ends up talking about another, and it just, like, it kept going back and forth. He's like, I laid her down, and then there was a leg next to her, and it was just, like, all this fucking... I was choked the whole time.
Oh, I'd be.
Choked.
It still kind of kills me because I was not there, okay? I did not have...
But you were in the vicinity, weren't you?
No. I'll tell you. So my dorm was literally 2 blocks that way. Well, not 2 blocks, I'm sorry. 2 streets that way. And we always went... Where the finish line is, there's a CVS and a Citizens. Like, we would always go right there all the time to get our shit. And for some reason, that weekend, of course, it's Patriots Day, is that Monday, so it's a long weekend for college students.
Mm-hmm.
And it was only me and my roommate that were going to be in the dorm. And I said, oh, let's just go back to my house in New Hampshire for the weekend. Like, wicked last minute. So we did. And then she gets a phone call that Monday, something about bombs. She's like, there's something about bombs. And then we saw it on TV, right? And I was like, not to put like, oh, woe is me, but we totally would have been there if we didn't go.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And probably would have been
at the finish line.
Because it was just like 2 streets over. But what sticks in my mind throughout all of this is that when we returned to school, which is within that week, they caught him, right?
Yeah.
And we had our windows open, and we still had the news on, stuff like, and, we're just watching it. And you just hear this, like, and it's on the news, they caught him, blah, blah, blah. And then we just hear this, like, far off, like, cry outside. And we're like,
the
what is
fuck?
that?
Yeah.
And we mute it. And it's like a growing chant.
Oh, my God. I'm getting chills.
And it was, USA, USA,
that is so
and
crazy.
It's all these, I'm going to say college students, I mean hundreds, walking down Com Ave, right? And to the point where the cops had to come in and block traffic. And I was like, holy shit. And I'm getting chills.
Yeah, no shit. I know.
Because it was just like that far off cry of like, USA. And then they kept saying, so they kept chanting that. What else did they chant?
I know that's when
like I think
Boston Strong started then.
But it wasn't at that time. I don't know if it was
No, it was near that, yeah.
But anyway, so we actually ended up joining the crowd.
That's dope.
And we all walked down to the Commons, and there's like a little gazebo there. And we all just stood around, and somebody had a little megaphone, and they were saying like, we're strong, we gotta keep this up, we're fighters, this is Boston. And it was just chanting of USA even more. And all the cops that were there, everybody wanted to take pictures with them. Mm-hmm. They were hugging them, they were high-fiving them. And it was just like one of those weird moments.
Yeah.
Where it was just like you had to be there.
Yeah.
So it was like, that definitely will stick in my mind.
They did do, like, at the end of the movie, they had interviewed some of the survivors. So there was that couple who the husband has lost one leg. I have him right here. And the wife, she eventually lost both legs. And then the following year, Patrick Downs and Jessica Kensky were the couple. I know they ran the following year in like the wheelchairs. They ran the marathon. And I think the year after that, he got a running leg and he actually finished the marathon. And They had footage. They had a bunch of footage that was like from the day, even like the surveillance footage and everything. And it was just really emotional to watch.
Yeah, because did they have to reenact that, or did they just use...
They just used the footage.
So,
like, when the bomb went off, that was a reenactment. But, and obviously, like, where there was debris and people everywhere, those were also reenactments. But, like, surveillance footage, anything that was them viewing videos, those were all original shit. They collected all cell phones. So, I actually talked to my mom into watching it. She texted me, like, at midnight. And she's like, I can't believe that cop stood there with that little boy. Which fucking immediately stabbed me in the throat because he's 8. My son is 8. That's immediately the first thing I thought of. Out of the 3 people that died, it was 2 women and an 8-year-old boy. And the bodies couldn't be moved. They had to fucking lay there in the street for over 12 hours because everything was a crime scene. And in the movie, it was just the one cop watching over this little boy. And I remember Mark Wahlberg got wicked emotional. It was like, oh, this kid has to sit there. His fucking parents are like, let that boy rest or whatever. People had been sent to hospitals and people were separated and all this other shit. But so that's the only thing that in the movie they did differently, because it was actually a group of police officers that stayed with the bodies, not just the one. But everything else was like super accurate.
Fuck. I just didn't want to watch it because I was like, I'm all set.
Bro, if you're not like 100% sure of the events of that day, again, I don't keep up with the news. I feel like I
stopped.
The news really gets to me.
Yeah.
It really does. And it's not like I want to be ignorant to what's going on, but social media, I feel like, fills me in on the gist of it. I don't need the fucking details on repeat for the whole day.
I think that's why I hate the news. It's like, we'll play it.
It's regurgitated shit. Yeah. It's like, here are these 7 awful things that are happening, and cats. And here are 7 more awful things that are happening, but more cats. With ducks. Like,
yeah.
Like, really?
I hate that.
I'm not for it. But,
sounds like a good movie.
I knew that shit had gone down at the marathon. I knew that it was the 2 brothers. I knew those details, but if you really, like, want to dive into it, this is probably, like, a dope-ass movie.
5 Wickeds.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just because I'm from here. It's just because it was done very well.
Good job, Wahlberg. And everybody else.
Yeah, for sure.
Berg. He's good stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so before we end, I just want to tell you about my viewership last night of my show.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It was on Netflix. Didn't really know the vibe I wanted to go.
It's a Netflix thing?
Oh, yeah. And, something popped up called Curon, which is the name of a town in Italy. I don't know if it's probably fake as fuck. That's it.
Are those? What are those?
They're demon masks.
Oh, I got excited. I thought they were like Krampus.
Oh, no. Well, yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, one of them is supposed to be Krampus. Okay. Anywho, it's spelled Curon. And takes place in Italy, so it is an Italian language show. It's only 7 episodes, and they're all an hour long each. So my ass stayed up until midnight to finish it because it was so good. Basically, you have a mom. Her name is Anna. And then she
Again?
I know. What the fuck is it with Annas? I don't understand. She has 2 twins who are 17, named Moro and Daria. And, of course, boy and girl.
Yes.
Very realistic. Acting was on point, I'll tell you. Their dad is a shithead. Mom wants to escape. So she goes back home to Curon, where she grew up. And, mom is killed. Her dad owns a hotel that doesn't work anymore. Like, it's not running.
Okay.
And she has this recurring nightmare of, like, her mom dead on the floor and seeing herself holding a gun. And she's like, bad nightmare, whatever. And, I think she was, like, a teenager, 16, 17 when it happened. Dad shipped her off to Milan, and was like, go live your life over there. But because shit was hitting the fan, she went back home with her kids. And first her dad was like, you can't be here, you need to fucking leave.
Oh, hell no.
And she's like, well, fuck that. She enrolls the kids in school. There is some drama there because it's high school.
Of course.
You know, drunk parties.
Mm.
But then you kind of find out that how this town is kind of cursed. They have a lake, but there's a bell tower coming out of the lake, and you're like, what the fuck is up with that?
Like, out of the middle of the lake? It's just...
Yep. And what happened was, there was an old village that was flooded.
Atlantis.
So there's an old town underneath that water, right?
Oh!
And all you see is the bell tower, but everybody kept saying, stay away from the bell tower. There's these, like, stories, you know, disappearances, murders, whatever. And they say if you hear the bells, because there's no bells in that bell tower, but if you hear the bells, you're gonna die. Like that type of curse, legend, whatever. It's good. I can't explain things correctly.
No, I see where this is going, that's all.
So what happens, the kid Morrow, he's like, I hear shit going upstairs, Grandpa. He's like, don't fucking go up there in that locked room. What does a kid do? He's like, breaking in.
Of course.
And he sees this woman who looks exactly like his mom, but chained up. He's like, what the fuck? She escapes. Takes their mom with her. Mom's missing. And they're like, Dad, Grandpa, what the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
What's going on? We have to find her. Meanwhile, her childhood lover is like, on his back. Oh my god. And... sorry, I'm so not doing this justice.
No, you are. This is great. I'm gonna watch it, I swear.
And they find a cabin that the lover was going to, who happens to be a ranger, and there's like, oh my god, there's blood everywhere, and he was gonna kill us, and holy shit. Meanwhile, there's this kid they went to school with that is in love with Mickey, who happens to be a lesbian. She's a friend of Morrow and Daria.
Okay.
But Mickey's like, I like girls. And he's like, oh my god, he's so heartbroken. And because he's so heartbroken, this dude that looks exactly like him pops up out of the lake. His doppelganger.
Are they all doppelgangers?
No. You find out a few of them are, but their mom Anna has one. So there is a curse, and they tell this story in their English class, right? Of how there's a legend of how everybody has two wolves inside of them, one good, like one dark, one light, and depending, whichever one, they're both vying for your soul, right? And whichever one wins is the one that you feed the most. So that's what they were talking about, like, you feed your anger, you're gonna be...
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So basically it was taking on that, where if you have some type of repressed feeling, like you're like, oh my god, I love her, but I can't have her.
Okay.
They have a splitting headache, and they hear the bells of the bell tower, and their doppelganger pops up out of the lake. And the doppelganger is the repressed feeling they have. So he's like, if you want to kill this person, but you're like, oh, I can't because I'm a good person, well, your doppelganger is going to rise up and be that feeling. He's going to be like, I'm an asshole.
Kill.
I'm going to kill. So...
This reminds me of Us.
Oh, yeah. A little bit like that, but less sciencey and less government.
I get that. Yeah.
But that's kind of the whole plot. Again, you don't know who's the real mom, who's not, right? And these poor kids are trying to figure this all out. And it has a very Hemlock Grove vibe.
Ooh.
So it's very...
Actually, I see that.
Yeah. It has, like, the same coloration, kind of. Mm-hmm. There are wolves there, but not werewolves. They're actual fucking wolves, because they're in Italy, you know? It's very realistic. The fucking character development is on point. Nobody is the same as they are in episode 1 to the end. Oh. And last night I was in a wicked Hemlock Grove mood. So I was like, I'll watch one episode of this show, Curon, whatever. And then if it's shitty, I'll just watch Hemlock Grove. I binged all 7 episodes. And you're like, you just need to know what happens.
Wow.
So
Hemlock Grove was good until season
2.
3?
3. That's another good one that we recommend.
Yeah, just not the last season, whichever it was.
With flying stingrays. Fuck. I would give this like 4 Wickeds. It was very well done.
Grabbed you by the balls.
Yeah, and it just came out this year.
You never binge like that.
I never binge. Nope.
Even Shameless.
Oh yeah, I'll watch a couple episodes every night.
You know what it is? Shameless is wicked depressing.
Yeah, that's true.
That show is hilarious, but my god, is it sad.
Yeah.
Those poor people.
So, but this is not, I mean, this is sad, but it's not that sad.
I think I'm gonna download this right now.
Please do, because I hope you like it. But it's very much our vibe. It's that creepy, yo, what the shit is happening? But it's also...
I just feel like sometimes...
In town, townies versus out of town. Like, foreigners.
Have you yet to watch Lock and Key?
No.
Ay, santo Dios.
I'm sorry. I was too busy watching this shit. But they have, so the mask that you see there, their grandfather makes those. Every year they have what they call the Fire Festival, and it's they burn an effigy of a monster or whatever that they to ward away the shadows of the winter.
Promise me that one day, not in the near future, but one day we'll go to the Krampus parade, because I want to go to that shit so bad.
Yeah, I love Krampus.
Oh my god.
The book, the movie. Have you seen the movie?
No, and I've yet to read the fucking book, and I have it there.
Krampus by Bram. Oh. Love that book. Love that book.
I tried to do the other one.
Child Thief?
Yes, but it started with a rape of a child, and I was like, I can't do this right now.
Yeah, the Child Thief by Bram is like the adult Peter Pan.
Which...
But wicked dark.
I love Peter Pan, and I don't want to ruin that.
But it's not the Peter Pan we all know. It's just taking that story and giving it something, just giving it a lot more dirt and grime. And
yeah,
blood.
I don't even want to know what the Grimm brothers did with that.
I didn't like the that rape scene either. I was like, I didn't feel nice about it.
No, it's like...
But the story, oh, it's so good.
I'll see if I can get back into it. I've been doing a lot of writing, so I've been really distracted.
Sorry. Yeah, but Curon is very good, so...
Cool.
Highly recommend.
So, the only honorable mentions that I have is Project Power on Netflix with Jamie Foxx.
Which
Joseph...
comes out August...
Something.
14th, I think.
Something like that.
And Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. In the Dark Season 2 is ready for your streaming and binging services on Netflix.
Yeah.
Casey Diedrich liked our fucking Wicked post. Oh my god!
Casey, we love you so much.
Or whoever is representing Casey's Facebook page. But Sean James also liked our Sean James post, our Song of the Week.
Yeah.
So, it's like I said, it's about the quality of our likes, not the quantity.
Exactly.
So, but those are pretty good. And then, for those of you who... if you've ever listened to Bozzy, he just released a new song.
Bozzy?
I know you don't follow Bozzy.
I guess I don't.
But he's great. I like him. He's is it hip hop? I guess we could say hip hop, rap. It's like his own thing. He's like a rapper, but it's mellow and it's very chill, and his albums are very short. Like Cosmic, I think is only, I don't know. What is it? Oh, see, it says it's under pop. It's 42 minutes long. It's a very short album. And then he's got Soul Searching, which I think is not even half an hour.
Wow.
So, but it does the job.
Yeah.
And they're catchy.
Okay.
I like it. But he has a new single out called I Don't Think I'm Okay. And I thought it was funny that I downloaded it at the moment that I was writing a very specific scene in my new book. And it fit. I was like, what is happening?
Are you going to make another playlist for that book?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
Do you like that? I don't know if that was weird.
That.
I
No,
feel like I
like
needed
that.
to put that in there.
Because if you're in that, like, that violet vibe, you're just like, playlist. Ding.
I have it.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's
yeah.
all we got for you this week on WAM.
Bro, this is episode 51. Yeah. Next week, it'll officially be a year.
How fucking crazy is that?
Well, a year's worth of episodes, because we've been doing this a little bit longer than a year already.
Yeah.
But still.
Isn't that crazy? It's exciting.
It is.
So.
Thanks for committing.
Yeah. Thank you for committing.
And you guys, oh yeah, I got nothing else to do. And you guys are fucking amazing, because if it was like, swear to Christ, if we only had like one download a fucking week, I probably wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah.
And you know what? It makes me feel good that we outlasted that other podcast.
We did.
The really famous one. They couldn't hack it.
Were they really famous though?
They were because of their connection.
Yeah.
They were. I think that's why it failed.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Because their connection is hilarious in my mind.
Yeah, but I mean, we've also stopped listening to that.
I know, but it's because we have our own shit, and I don't want to be the same.
I know. It's so. I remember in the beginning where it's like their mannerisms were rubbing off on us, and I was like, I need to stop this completely because we can't keep doing this.
So, that's exciting.
Yeah.
We're just here to share our love of things with you.
And also do something different with our lives.
I mean, yeah, because we like to talk.
Movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And someone should listen.
Someone. She's funny, I'm not. I'm just here to, like...
That is not true!
A sounding board. I can't explain shit, okay? Curon is an amazing show.
I think you did an amazing job. You kept me entertained. I am not being sarcastic. I'm being very honest.
Shush.
I loved it. I was like, whoa.
Say goodbye to our people, our WAM fam.